Welcome back to another episode of Out of Bounds on the Boomer Bust channel. I'm your host Terry, and today talking about Will Smith. Let's get into it. I just so much to get into, and honestly, I'm not trying to stay here too long, but we'll see because there's a lot of layers to it. And I'm gonna tell you right up front, as with all the rest of my content and Out of Bounds, I'm talking about all the angles, whether it be more philosophical, whether it be more theoretical, deep racial, political, every last thing. We gonna start off just with the basics, but we gonna get into it. If that is a problem for you, I don't care. I really don't care. All right, so I'm not gonna recap it because we all know what happened, and we gonna go through the different things. And so if you haven't seen it, go see it. And also I want to say that I'm a big Oscars fan. I'm not somebody, the Oscars boring and stupid. I only came because I heard about the slap. No, I was watching this live. I've been a devout Oscars fan for the last 7 years or so. I love award season. So this does have a different perspective for me than some people that's like, I don't care about the Oscars anyway. So there's that. All right. So, number one, I think let's start with the debate about the joke. And, some people are saying, how bad it was, how bad it wasn't, yada, yada, yada. Please do not get confused. This is a red herring. This is not the central discussion about the situation. The central discussion was not, does the joke warrant that response? The situation is the response. I don't care what the joke was. Now, for some people, you might feel as though there are some jokes that might not even be a joke that can be just obscene, and that would cross the line for you. And if it goes past a joke, if they up there in a non-funny way just talking about stomping your mom out or something, okay, I get that. But for me personally, I'm saying I don't care what you do. Until there's physical touching or the threat that seems there might be physical touching, then you're not reacting like that. I'm not giving that a pass. Like this idea that somebody can say some words to you that gives you the right to then act that way, I don't agree with. I mean, there's very few. I wouldn't even say very few, but I could think of some really horrific situations where words absolutely can sting and hurt. I'm not saying that. And that joke might sting and hurt to them like some of the ideas I'm thinking about. But even in those situations, it does not give you the license to react that way. So let's start there. I don't care about her alopecia. I don't care about her shit. First of all, that's not even an excuse. This woman has been rocking a low hairstyle for years. And we got Tiffany Haddish. You got a number of other people there that are rocking that rocking low hairstyles. For all we know, that could have been a fashion choice. I don't follow Jada. I didn't know she had alopecia. You think I thought 1 second about her hair? And again, I get that she might feel differently. Fine. But again, I don't care what the joke was. That is not part of the discussion. So let's just throw that out there. Okay. Now, this idea that Will Smith was laughing initially, I feel that way actually. But I'm still going to recognize that you can laugh and be upset. You could give off a fake laugh. Now, do I think that's what happened? No. From my own personal perception of the situation, his body language, no, I thought that he was actually with it. But for whatever reason, and we didn't see it, for whatever reason, Jada, what she said, the way she looked, something changed quick. And Will Smith was up on that stage. And he slapped. I wouldn't even say slapped the taste out of his mouth. Last night for some reason, in the moment, that slap looked way worse. But today I'm like, you know what? He didn't slap him that hard. Like his form wasn't even that good. Like he didn't really, knock fire from him. But still, obviously that ain't the point. But okay, so something happened between that. Now him laughing at it, whether he actually thought it was funny and is acting on, or is he's reacting to Jada's reaction, or if he was faking laughing, I don't care. None of that really matters, I think, to the bigger conversation. And so that leaves us to just the real question. How appropriate, inappropriate, however you want to phase it, was Will Smith's actions? So, the justifications that we got on the line, the number one, and it's pissing me off to hear the people say this, is that he was protecting his wife. Now, couple problems. Number one, and problems for me, I should say. Number one, as I mentioned before, there is no words that I'm condoning that for. There are no words, I should say. That's not happening. I don't care what the joke was. He's not physically attacking her. I don't care if he, so if he went up there and said, if it wasn't even a joke, if it was a compliment, and he was like, Jada looks so great with that hair, and she just started bawling out, crying, I hate you, I hate you. Is Will Smith supposed to react then just because she's upset? So what's the actual logic here? That if she's upset, he's got to act. So that really doesn't matter what the joke is. It doesn't matter what's being said. If she's upset, he's got to go act. He's like an attack dog. Go sick him, Will. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with any of that. If he was physically about to harm her, then yes, it's on. But the only person that physically laid hands on anybody was Will Smith. So there was no protection of his wife. And all this protect black women, people are taking that concept and spreading it, as we tend to do with everything. From this very real idea of physically protecting somebody to protecting them from being screwed over, from protecting them from being made fun of, to protect, like, we're just going to keep stretching it. And we're going to stretch it into, if you don't do what I like, it's you not protecting black women. I don't agree with concept creep for anything, and especially this. So there is no protecting black women. There's no protecting his wife right now. His wife was not being attacked. His wife had a joke made about her, like everybody else that got joked about that night. Point blank, period. Don't care how sensitive you are about it. She was not being attacked. She did not ask for him, or she might have, but she does not need him to protect her. So again, like this idea that physically, if for whatever reason she's overmatched or she wants some help and she asks for help, okay. But verbally, somebody saying something verbally, you can't control how she acts. You can't control how she feels. So you're going to have to let her handle that as a grown woman. And this idea that you just protecting your wife is an excuse that you hiding behind. Point blank, period. So, and again, you talk about he's protecting his wife or whatever. So where does that stop? Where does that stop? And I don't, people going to be mad. I see people getting upset that we bringing this up. But I agree with everybody that brings up August. Where was all that gas then? And then I won't even go to August. If your idea was I'm being disrespected because you disrespect my wife, she represents me, whatever, or you disrespect my family, or you've been doing this before, or other people talked about me and I culminated and now I'm upset, whatever you think, your actions have now made it 1,000 times worse. So a joke about her hair versus the millions of people memeing and making fun and TikTok and joking. And you really think people ain't gonna try you? You think, I get you got security, cool. then let security handle that last night. You want to roll up on somebody not expecting something that you know is in a bad situation where they don't have a win. They stand there slapped and look weak, or they fight you and they get in trouble. You okay? So if you want to be that bad out in the real world, because people gonna roll up and they gonna say crazy stuff to you, because they're gonna be like, if that made you mad, Will, what about this? And they gonna say something nuts. And guess what? They not gonna look like Chris Rock. They gonna look like The Rock. They gonna be daring you to try them. And guess what Will Smith not gonna do? He not gonna put hands on none of them. So I don't want to hear that he was being tough. I don't want to hear that he was being romantic. That man went up there because of himself. And completely because of himself. Because he cared about how he felt and how this made him look. And he also felt, I'm big enough where I could do this and I don't care about the consequences. That's what happened. So miss me with the protecting Jada. I don't want to hear that. You don't need to be protected from words. She ain't a child. So there's that point that people are trying to justify it with. Again, you got a mix of all the past stuff that him and Chris Rock beefed over with Jada or whatever and all that stuff. Nothing you bring up amounts to an excuse for what he did. You can control how you react. You didn't have to do that. And on the Oscar stage. So let me get to this point. As I said, I get it. If you didn't watch any of the movies, I don't get why you watching the Oscars. To sit here and say it's boring, it's long, I don't care about these movies. Well, you didn't watch them. So, yeah, why are you even watching the Oscars? I get that. But that's just because you personally, and to be frank, a lot of people around the world don't watch the Oscars. That does not mean it's not prestigious. It is a prestigious thing. And so the idea of time and place matters. I'm sick of hearing these people, even people I admire, talking about it don't matter that it's at the Oscars. Yes, it does. It absolutely matters that it's at the Oscars. That is a big part of the context. You don't do that. Point blank, period. Nobody has done that. And so, especially, and then, you know, everybody make the joke about the Source Awards, blah, blah, blah. And granted, I don't watch the BET Awards anymore, all that. But if you tell me, within the last 15 years, somebody got in a fight, I ain't hear about that. They got in a fight at an awards show. Like, we've moved past that. And especially at the Oscars, you don't do that. So I don't want to hear this idea of the platform don't matter. Yes, it does. There's millions of people. You're standing in front of other people's achievements, directly in front of Questlove's achievement as another black man. And, you know, I was telling my friend, like, he has the emotion inside to love that win and push through. And great for Questlove. Because I know myself, had it been me, I wouldn't even been able to enjoy it. I would have been like, yo, thanks for the win. I appreciate it. But like, yo, Will, you just, I can't act like you didn't just do that. You just really ruined this whole night, bro. That's what I would have said. And if he would try to slap me, we would see what would happen. But so, I mean, you know, shout out to Questlove for that. But I just, overall, you stole a moment. I mean, this stuff is everywhere. And look, yes, a lot of these people ain't talking about the Oscars anyway. But the people that do talk about the Oscars, the people that I watch, the recaps and all that, they still talking about Will Smith too. So it's just, it's unfortunate because you are taken away from other people. And then there's the optics of it. Yes, it is that deep. You're talking about giving people what they already want. And this is a complicated discussion, and I'm not going to get super deep into it. But this idea as we know, a stereotype: black on black crime, two black men fighting, black people acting ignorant, black men not showing decorum, whatever. So then you wrap this into this idea of, well, y'all saying that we should behave around the Oscars just because it's white people is a problem. Some people saying that we shouldn't care what white people think, and you're the problem if you feel that way. And some people, saying all these different things, that we shouldn't have this value of white people opinion. Now, I'm going to say this. This ain't strictly white people. First of all, look around. This thing is everywhere. It ain't strictly white people, but it is the perception. And there's always an argument about what we owe as people. Now, I could tell you I can't tell you your personal philosophy, but I can tell you what the reality is. You can feel like I represent me and me. All I represent is Terry. I ain't gonna say my whole name, but all I represent is Terry. Okay, I can say that and feel that way and act that way, cool. But the reality, the objective reality, is that people are lumping you into a group. You might not lump everybody into a group, but you lump some people in the group. Yes, you 100% do. We all do as humans. We compact information to try to make it simple. And so you didn't do any favors for the racist, ignorant people, or for the people on the fence, or the low-key racists that think they not racist but had these ideas and stereotypes. You did no favors for that. Whether they be white, black, brown, or otherwise, because races come in different colors as well. So you did no favors adding to that. And it's not fair. It's not fun that we have to wear that responsibility everywhere we go. But again, that's the reality. You might not have that personal philosophy, but that's the reality. More so than a white person. They say, well, white people don't have that. They wouldn't be set back if it was two white men. No, they don't be. That's the point. It's privilege. This country is built on privilege from racism. We don't have it. And it's not that we have to play by the rules and make nice, but there are still ways to handle things in a certain way to make progress. There are times for radical demonstration, and then there are times for diplomatic understanding. And there are times where it's entertainment and you just don't need to be acting like that. So I'm not saying that this is a direct shot to, our racial status or our racial dynamics in America. But I'm saying it's a small piece that adds to it. And the fact that people can sit here and say it doesn't matter, but yet we've objectively seen the effects, and I'm sure we all heard the effects of people for decades seeing black people on TV, in the news, in movies, depicted as stereotypes, violent, gangs, thugs. If you don't hang with black people, you don't know what black people, that's what you're going to think they are, subconsciously or consciously. And so how can we sit here and talk about representation in movies, and we can talk about showing a good father in Venus and Serena Williams and putting a light on that and how important that is, and then turn around and say it's not important to see two black men doing that? Yes, it is. Yet it might not be to you, but to society on some level, it is 100%. And that's problematic. Very disappointing will in that. Okay. I mean, that's the main things. Like I said, for me, there's no pass for Will Smith. Zero. And so as far as outside the situation, just looking at the two, Chris Rock, I did a 180 on. I was on him. And this ain't even really, I don't know, maybe it is a little toxic masculinity, but for me, I'm fine. The same thing I said about Will. I'm fine. You're going to talk crap, whatever, yada, yada. But the moment somebody put their hands on me, that's a different story. That's a different story. And so for Chris Rock to take that like that and just, kind of keep going and try to go back and forth with Will, I wasn't feeling it. I was like, look, now he might not set it off right then and there, but he better backstage or something better happen. Otherwise, I got a problem that you just sat there and let him slap you like that. And I did a 180 by today. A lot of people talking and people talking to me. Like, look, he was the strong one because, yes, had Chris Rock reacted the way a lot of us feel like he should have and started fighting, that would have been a different thing. Even if they just fought, they probably would have cut it off. But if those two fought, that's one thing. But more than likely, people would have tried to break it up. And then some people would have been on Will's side. Some people would have been on Chris' side. And it might have got nasty. It might have got nasty. And so, there's that. Obviously, there's their career and everything. And we could speculate about the fallout of this. But it ain't going to do Chris Rock no favors to get as low as Will did. And so there's that. And it's just that whole host of things that this could have really derailed the show. And I would salute Chris Rock 100% for standing up and really being a bigger person. Not only like if this happened just on the corner, he's the bigger person, but to do that in front of millions in a no-win situation and really be a professional, salute to Chris Rock. That being said, he still got till actually it's 7 p.m. right now. He better have retaliated in some form. I better find out, or we got problems. But anyway, Will Smith, I got zero respect for him. And it was bad. I'm still kind of shook. It's just something that breaks your world, at least for me. Again, people, I don't watch Oscars, I don't care. I watch Oscars. This breaks my world. I still can't even process it. But Will Smith doing that and all the ramifications from the show to black people to everything hurts. And is very unfortunate and disappointing. But what really put it to zero for me was his acceptance speech and how he got up there and absolutely made no sense. He basically doubled down and hid behind the same excuse everybody using: protecting my family and loving my wife. That is ridiculous. And loving your wife is one thing, but he also said, I'm a conduit for love. I'm being called on to do these great things. And all the other stuff Will Smith has ever said about all his mindfulness and meditation, all his love and energy, BS. You just slapped that man like 45 minutes ago. Wasn't no love about it. And so he just BS his way. And that just was cringy and disgusting. You crying. And one other thing, everybody in here, for the most part, are actors. I can't trust none of y'all reactions. So Will Smith up there crying and acting like he hurt and it's emotional. Bump you. You just slapped that man. You lucky you ain't got boxed up or in jail. So that sad sack acceptance speech where he apologized to everybody but Chris Rock, I'm not accept. No, that took it to zero for me. And you know what? I was messing with Will probably on a 60% level because I enjoy him as a actor. I think his performance this year was excellent. And we go way back, but I lost a lot of respect when he got into social media and all that other stuff. He's just phony. He's super phony. And so, but I can still enjoy his stuff. Now, I don't mess with Big Willie style. Nope. I don't really mess with Will Smith no more after that, bro. That was big trash. So that's how I'm coming at it, man. And then the only other thing I'll say is shame on the Academy and the audience, everybody there. Again, bunch of actors. But for y'all to sit there and act like y'all didn't just see what happened, y'all should everybody should get an award. The whole audience should get an award for that night. Because ain't no way in the world I would have left. I don't care where I was sitting. I would have left. I don't even want to be in the room. Terry, yo, what happened? How did you sit through it? I didn't. I left. Check my social media. I left right after that. I don't even want to be here. You was supposed to present. I don't care. I'm leaving. Like, take Will Smith out. Like, y'all not about to gaslight everybody and act like that didn't just happen. Take Will Smith out, or I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm not about to stay in there and just pretend this make-believe Will Smith is cool. No, absolutely not. And so that's how I feel. Now, this is a matter of privilege. Socioeconomic. Money speaks loudest, the most important color in this country. Rich people, famous people get away with that. Them regular people ain't getting away with that. So I'm going to just say that too. All right, that's it for me, man. Go to the comment section. Let me know what you think about the slap heard around the world. Share it around, get the conversation started. Thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you for going out of bounds.